has 11:22 here, and I'm here for the reading for the Tauruses out there for the month of July. And I just want to say thank you guys for all your likes, your comments, and to my new subscribers, welcome to my channel. I'm so glad to have you here. Welcome. And I just want to say that these are general readings, and they may not completely resonate with your situation. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's see what are some energies that Tauruses can experience for the month of July. Okay. So we have the Three of Swords reverse, and we have the Two of Pentacles reverse as well. So with what I see here, Tauruses, you guys are working on your healing for the month of July. I feel that you guys are possibly letting some people go, situations go, where you just realize that it's just time for you to heal. That could be from childhood as well. You know, a lot of the times, it's not always easy to admit to ourselves that we may still be bitter about some things. We may still hold resentments towards people. And maybe that's been on your mind for the month of July, that, you know what, it's time for me to get off the fence. Or another thing I see here is some of you guys could have been waiting on someone to give you closure. That's also what I'm getting. Some of you have been waiting for someone to say that they're sorry, that they own up for something that they did. But I feel that now you're realizing that at the end of the day, you can give yourself that closure. Also, I realize that too, because I used to wait for people to say sorry to me. I used to wait for people to own up to what they did. But what happens is, what if that person never says sorry? And this is also, what does a sorry do? That's also what I was thinking about. It doesn't go back in time and change the pain and suffering that I experienced. So I realized that I wanted closure just to make me feel better in a way. But it was an illusion for me. I realized that I give myself closure, that I can get myself out of situations, because that's how strong I am. And I feel that's what you're realizing. Maybe you felt like you was at mercy to some of these people. Maybe you still been like mad at an ex-partner because they put you maybe through a third party and they never owned up to it, and they just moved on with their life, that like they didn't care. And maybe you resented that person. But I feel like you're making the decision to let that go. And we have the Three of Pentacles. I feel with the Three of Pentacles, you could be making contracts for the month of July. It doesn't just have to be business. I feel that you're connecting with like-minded people. You want to be around people that you don't have to question their motives. Do they care? Do they not? You just want to get around people that you can build something with. Either build a friendship, build a business, build a relationship. But I really feel maybe you're looking in your social circles too. Like, is the people I'm around really for my highest good? Or does me being around these people just keep me in my old self and I'm trying to elevate? So I really feel during this time you're going to start questioning stuff like that. How can you put yourself around people that can help you grow? Maybe you're the Taurus that helps everybody else grow. But then you realize around your social circle, who's helping you grow? Or when you go through tough times, who's there to help you? And maybe that was something that was also hurtful for you as well. And you're making the decision to end it with some of these people so you can make room for new people to come in. Let's see. We have the Page of Wands. So I really feel that you're going to start to get that spark back in life again. If you're the Taurus that's been through a rough time, I feel that through the month of July, you're going to start to get that motivation. You're going to want to start over. It's like, you know what, let me just start fresh. Let me look at my passions. What are my creativity? What can I do? Things that is just new. You know what I'm saying? And that's different for Taurus, because you guys like, you know, older things. Like, you know, things that make you feel comfortable, but maybe you're realizing how your comfort zone is also the same thing that's holding you back. Maybe it's the people you're around, the relationship that you're in, and you're starting to look out into the world like, wow, the world is so much bigger, and I'm putting myself in a box by just doing the same thing day in, day out, talk to the same people day in, day out. Like, you know what? I'm ready to embrace the new. And maybe that's new for you, Taurus. Maybe that's not something that you just open arms wide open at first, but you're realizing how the new isn't that bad. That sometimes the new can be even better than the old. And sometimes that's where a lot of growth comes in, you know? To me, if people are not falling off your path, you're not growing, period. That's what I looked at it as. When people started dropping like flies out of my life, at first, absolutely wasn't hurtful. But then I realized that must mean I'm ascendant. So it's just as people was going, people was also coming in. But a lot of times we try to hold on so tightly to old things because they're so familiar. But at the same time, that could also stunt your growth and really see where you could really go in life. And let's do one more card. Top row. And we have the Eight of Wands. So maybe you could get some communication that can help you with this new beginning. Or maybe you get some communication even from the person that you have felt this Three of Swords with. That's another thing I've noticed too. Like, even if you did, when you stop waiting for people to own up to what they did and you just focus on your own healing, you'd be surprised. That person will probably manifest physically when you least suspect it. Like, hey, I just want to tell you I'm sorry. It was just on my heart. You'd be like, wow, I'm over it now. It's usually when we let go of expectation. It's our expectations that be getting us. And then when we set an expectation so high, that's when we get knocked down. And I feel like that's what you're also learning. Like, let me just take life day by day. Don't have any expectations and focus on the now moment. So I'm going to go into clarifiers here. Let's see why the Three of Swords and the Two of Pentacles is in reverse. So we have the Hierophant. So with the Hierophant here, what I'm seeing is you guys are definitely healing from a commitment. You guys may, or also it could be a religion you're also changing up to. Maybe you're deciding to, maybe it's hurtful for you to make people happy. Now what I mean by that is maybe you come from a religious family and you're on the spiritual path. That's also the Hierophant could it's like values and things like that. Maybe you come from a religious family and it's been hard to live that double life. Maybe they don't agree with tarot cards or spirituality. They probably think you're a devil worshiper. You know, all the types of stereotypical things. And maybe that's like, you know what, I have to make the decision to do what's best for me and heal me, because it's hurting me trying to please these people and trying to please myself. I gotta put me first. But in other words, it could also be a relationship too. Maybe you're deciding to heal from a person that you really thought you was going to spend the rest of your life with. And that happens too. So I'm going to do another clarifier on the Hierophant here. The conflict. With the Five of Wands reverse, you see all the different hands. As I was seeing, you could be around people that's very strictly religious, and you may try to put people on to some new thoughts and ideas, and they just ain't hearing it, because it's just like, you know what, I don't agree with that, or I just don't do that, or this and this and that and that. Or it could definitely be ending a relationship too that has caused a lot of issues. That's what happens too. Sometimes not everybody is just hating on your relationship. Sometimes people can really see a toxic relationship from a mile away, and we may take it personally, like, well, you just don't see what I see. You know, we've all been there. I've been there. But a lot of the times these people was right. This commitment was bringing out the worst of me. This commitment was not helping me grow. But because I was so in love with this person, it honestly reminds me of my first engagement, honestly, just reading this. And it just wasn't what I thought it was. Once I took the blinders off of love, I was like, holy crap, this is not what I want to spend my life with. this is not what I want to do. I actually need to get out of here. Like, maybe these people are not just saying these things to bring me down, but to bring awareness. Like, Jazz, like, this ain't what you think it is. You can't see it, right? Because you're so in love with this person. But once I looked at the reality, it wasn't that, you know. So maybe that is you, Taurus, where you're realizing that this person probably brought the worst out of you. That maybe everybody was just trying to give you sound advice. You know, we all been there, and that's okay. So let's see why the Three of Pentacles is here. We have the Ace of Swords. We have the Four of Pentacles. And we have the Four of Cups reversed. So what I feel is, with the Ace of Swords, you're getting, because you guys can hold a lot in. You know what I'm saying? And my best friend is a Taurus. This is why I say this. A lot of times you guys don't reach out to people because you think you could do it all by yourself. And what actually starts happening is you can get yourself into a depression because not everything you can do on your own. Maybe that's what you're realizing. Like, you know what? That's the truth right here. I can't do everything alone. I do need some help. Like, I can't continue to keep suffering in silence. Like, and a lot of people may not know you suffering, Taurus, because you guys hold it so well. You know, you guys have that composure, but also it can get to a point that you really don't realize that you can go right into a depression and not even realize it. That you may keep so much inside because you may not feel that people don't understand or what help could they do. But honestly, just talking to somebody helps, man. When I was going through my depression, y'all, I isolated myself from people because I didn't want, nobody to see me like that. But one thing I said was, one thing I would do different was definitely reach out to people, because people didn't know how bad I was suffering, and I got to the point where it's just like, I can't suffer in silence. Even if you talk to someone that you feel, like if you meet on social media or you're in a group, I see a lot of people doing that too, where they just need some encouraging words. It's not always just about what can people do. It's also just that to uplift you, to know that everything is going to be all right. And I feel like you're tired of holding on to these feelings of dissatisfaction with your life. And I feel you're ready to start expressing yourself more and start saying when you're hurting. And even if it's not in terms of you don't have nobody, because there's some cases like that, start to write it down. Make sure you have some type of outlet, y'all. That's really what's so important. It's not okay to just suffer in silence. Even if you don't have nobody, like I said, make sure you either write it down so you can speak to you, so you can see how you feel as well. So let's see why the Page of Wands is here. We have the Page of, not the Page, the Six of Swords, the Two of Swords, and Two of Wands. Well, Two of Rods in this deck. I feel you're really ready to move on to these new beginnings, like I said. Maybe it could have been the relationship that got you really deep in your feelings and really hurt. And maybe you're like, you know what, I do need a friend. I do need someone to talk to, or I do need to write down my feelings. And one thing I do know is I'm ready to move on to my new beginnings and get off the fence and see what this life has in store for me, because this ain't it. I'm willing to let go of what I am familiar of to find my new space. The people, places, and things I have clearly outgrown. And I can no longer be stubborn to this fact. These people cannot come with me where I'm going. It's either I stay stagnant just to keep these people, places, and things happy, or I go on my own path. So I know when I go to bed at night, I know that I feel peace, because I'm not feeling peaceful right now. And let's see why this Eight of Wands is here. And I want to finish up this reading because I've been talking for like almost 15 minutes. We have the Magician. We have the Four of Swords. And we have the Five of Cups reverse. So what I do see here, Taurus, is once you do make these moves to the new beginning, you will start to realize opportunities will start to fall into your lap. What you have been trying to manifest may have been blocked by these situations because certain people may not could go to the next level with you. But once you make these changes, the eight of is this is unexpected communication. You could be unexpectedly traveling too, because this is also a traveling card. And you may have been like, wow, I'm getting the news of things that I always wanted to manifest. And that happens. We gotta move to new spaces to get new things. We can't just stay in the same places and expect new opportunities and friends and stuff to just fall into our laps. We gotta make space for that. And once you do that, you'll look back like, wow, I didn't lose anything. I actually just evolved. So I can get out of this feeling sorry for myself or get out of this energy that I felt like I failed or I felt like I wasn't doing good enough. It was just I had to make changes and adjustments. And that's also taking time out to really realize what you want in life, Taurus. And also that could require you letting go of things that mean the most to you for your growth. So Taurus, I hope this reading helps you guys, and I catch you guys next week.